Before you have an evergreen or pre-recorded webinar, you need to at least do 10 live because there's an energy about going live. Because in a webinar, you need to sort of start at the start and we need to talk about what is the big, bold claim, the big, bold promise, the one thing, how getting people to agree with multiple things actually dilutes your offer. Because with no money down, he made $60,000 in one day. And then he made over $1 million within 60 days just from learning these secrets. So you know that property is definitely a done deal and it's a great investment opportunity. But for most people, it seems out of reach or unaffordable. I'm going to show you 3 secrets as to why it's not. Give me a number 2 if you like to save money. I'm going to do a special offer, which is a $26,000 special offer that I'll reveal to the end. And if you're here with me live right now, know that. Welcome to the Results-Based Marketing Podcast, the podcast for business owners looking to leverage wildly profitable and cutting-edge marketing, lead generation, and lead nurture campaigns in their business. I'm Simeon Cryer, the founder of Automate Convert, where we've literally helped clients generate millions, hundreds of millions of dollars using the exact strategies that I'm going to share with you in this podcast. So if you want to automate, convert, and dominate your industry, you're in the right place at the right time. Let's get started. Thanks for being here. Hey team, it's Simon here. I'm super pumped today because I'm going to give you a breakdown of the critical success factors I think you need to have to make a high converting webinar, especially if you're selling high ticket items that move the needle significantly for you in your business. And high ticket, by the way, means anything north of $1,000, let's just say. All right, so the elements that I think are essential for a webinar is the one big thing. Essentially in a webinar, you need to sort of start at the start and we need to talk about what is the big, bold claim, the big, bold promise, the one thing. In a previous podcast, we talked about how getting people to agree with multiple things actually dilutes your offer because your chances of success of them saying yes to all these different points are a very low probability that they're going to say yes to everything. So you want them to say yes to the one thing. What is the one big thing that crushes all their preconceived limited beliefs and installs and gives them hope in your product or service, whatever your offering is? So what is the one big, bold claim that you can have people or help people achieve in their life that they don't experience right now? And what are the belief systems that you need to tear down and reinstall with belief systems that are going to support them in achieving the goal that they want for their lives? Okay, so let's start with structure. Let's start with the intro. So the intro is kind of a bit of a welcome. You're sort of setting the tone and the pace. You want to have like, this is how I'm going to talk. Here's the rules of engagement here. I want you guys to interact. Like I want you to give me a thumbs up if that's making sense. Or, hey, listen, if this is you and this makes sense, drop a number 1 in the comments right now. Like if I'm on a YouTube podcast, let's just say, I would say, listen, I'd love for you to ask me a question in the comments so that I can answer on an upcoming episode, or ask me anything in the comments about webinars right now and I'll personally respond to you with an answer, right? So I want to have that engagement because an engaged audience is an audience that's listening to you and it's an audience that's not being distracted by life. So set the rules. Now for me, I get pretty excited when I'm passionate about a particular topic and I start to talk fast. And give yourself permission to be authentically and unapologetically you in terms of your cadence and your style. So say, listen, there's a lot of ground that I want to cover today. I'm excited about the topic. And when I get passionate and excited, I talk a little bit faster. And some people, particularly if you're in the US, will say, slow down. And to you guys, I just want to say, listen faster because I want to cover a lot of territory today. I want to give you the most value for your time on today's webinar. Is that okay? Right? Just give me a 1 on the comment if you agree with that and that's okay and we can move forward. Awesome. Yes, absolutely 100% perfect. And read the comments that you're getting coming in, right, in real time so that they know there's other people there that are engaging and that social kind of peer herd mentality will help with the engagement as well because engaged people are listening to you, they're following and they will buy. All right, it's like playing music in a store. You're creating this environment of interaction and this whole thing of like, this is live, it's raw, it's authentic, right? So that's really cool. If you listen to the greatest of all time webinar hosts, Russell Brunson, my initial coach and mentor in the digital marketing space, he talks about before you have an evergreen or pre-recorded webinar, you need to at least do 10 live because there's an energy about going live because you could really stuff this up live. And so that adrenaline, which is making you freak out right now, is actually the thing that's making you excited and just keeps you vibrant, right? It's like ramping up your energy level just a couple of notches. Now, you might not want to be as excited as I am because people would think you're weird because that's so far away from your natural state, but you might just want to notch it up a little bit. And that little bit of an adrenaline buzz is really going to give you that energy that you need in live, right? Live is really cool. That's where the energy lives. So do that as you're finding your voice, and you know that you will be bringing a whole nother level of energy to the call. And by the way, if you've got a standing desk, I'd recommend you do this standing up as well, because you're just going to be free to move around, free to be expressive, and you'll have so much energy, you won't want to sit down. It'll just really bring out your best performance. Okay, so we're getting permission to be authentically you. You're giving some structure of tone and engagement, what you want to see. You're giving yourself permission to speak fast if you're speaking fast, and to get interaction. You also want to have a hook to keep people to the end, right? Because at the end, that's when you're going to be talking about price. Why? Because price belongs at the end, because you need to stack value before you give the investment options, yeah? So it's a natural part of the natural sales process that price comes to the end, and if no one's around at the end, they're not going to hear the price and they're not going to buy. So give them reasons to stick around to the end. We call that the hook. And that might be, hey, listen, stick around the end. I'm going to show you where to get more help on this subject. Plus, I've got a very special offer. Does anybody here like to make money? Give me a 1 in the comment. Yep, awesome. Yes, I do. Or give me a yes. Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Heck yeah. Give me a number 2 if you like to save money. I'm going to do a special offer, which is a $26,000 special offer that I'll reveal to the end. And if you're here with me live right now, know that I'll probably be cutting this out of the recording. So if you're here right now, hearing the sound of my voice right here, right now, and if you stick around to the end, you'll get this $26,000 special offer that I'm just doing one time. Okay, give them reasons to stay to the end, whatever your offer is, but that's just an example of what it could be like. Hey, if you're a business owner making between 1 and 5 million a year and you want more consistent qualified leads to grow your business, then why don't we have a complimentary chat? I'm looking to personally invest $26,000 into 7 individual businesses right now who are serious about scaling. Book in a call with me and my team using the link in the show notes below to see if you qualify. Now back to the episode. Then tell them what you're going to tell them. Say, on this webinar, I'm going to use investment property, I think, in this example, as we're just riffing with each other, how anybody in Australia can afford to comfortably own an investment property, and in some cases with no money down. Because owning investment property in Australia is not just for the wealthy, it's only for the smart once you know how. And then I would let people off the hook to say, listen, it's not your fault if you don't have one right now, but I know for sure that you've probably seen in the last recent years how property investment has been skyrocketing while everything else has been pretty mediocre. If you think about your superannuation fund, you probably know that most funds, from recent statistics from the ABS, were doing like -4% return, where the property that you live in right now, whether you own it or rent it, has probably gone up to the tune of 6, maybe even 7 figures in some instances. Am I right? Yeah, so you know that property is definitely a done deal and it's a great investment opportunity. But for most people, it seems out of reach or unaffordable. I'm going to show you 3 secrets as to why it's not. Secret number 1 is I'm going to show you XYZ, whatever your big compelling secret is. Secret number 2, I'm going to show you how you can actually secure a property with no money down. Lots of intrigue around that, by the way, if that's something that you want to think about in terms of your 3 big secrets. And then secret number 3 is I'm going to show you how anybody, regardless of where your financial situation, if you're serious about getting into investment property, this is how you can get started, even with $0 down. Does that sound cool? Give me a 1 in the comments if that sounds cool. And let me know if you're excited to find out these secrets. Yep, cool. Awesome. Well, and then you can start talking about your own journey. Now, in .com Secrets, which is a book by Russell Brunson, he talks about the hero's journey, right? The reluctant hero. And you've got to talk about who you are as a brand persona, how you might have stumbled upon this method of whatever your business is, right? Or how to invest in property with no money down, your own backstory, or how you went from rags to riches. Or I had a client of mine who was doing well in the construction industry, but he hired the wrong accountant who was secretly managing his business but secretly stealing from him. And he found out that he had like massive amounts of debt, like $480,000 worth of debt owed to the tax office. He found out how to get into investment property, and he made, I think, with no money down, he made $60,000 in one day. And then he made over $1 million within 60 days just from learning these secrets. So That's the hook. That's the start. Now, the structure is when you cover off secret number one, what you want to do is then back that up with a testimonial, right, of someone who's been able to deploy the secret that you've just showcased. Testimonial is great. It's going to be social proof. Then you want to round that off with a trial close. And a trial close might look like this. It might be, isn't that great? Could you see how powerful this is as a strategy for your business? Could you imagine what this would mean in your life? Then you want to cover off secret two, do the same thing, give a testimony or two about that. Then you want to give the trial close. Same with secret number three. And then because at the beginning of the webinar, you showed people where you would direct them for more help, you would say, obviously, there's only so much content I can cover on a webinar like this, but here's where you can go for more help like I promised. But first of all, I want to tell you about something that a tale of two people, and the tale of two people might be towards the close, but you'd give the offer, right? Which is, firstly, this is what I've done. I've done this program and I'm releasing it today for this special price, right? So that's your special offer. It's the discount, how they can save $26,000 or whatever it is. And for the first, it's a limited scarcity offer. For the first 20 people who register for this right now, you're going to get this special offer. It's going to be a free something valued at $4,000 or whatever it is. That's for the first 20 people. For the first 10 people who register right here, right now, you're going to get an hour session with me, one-on-one, to map out a custom detailed strategy for you to XYZ benefit, right? So that's the scarcity. And then the close is talking about pricing strategies from the investment, the reduction to the ridiculous. This is like a $52,000 ticket. It's like, hey, for the next how many years, it works out to be like $15 a day or something like that. So that reduction to the ridiculous technique is kind of cool. And then give like a tale of two people, which I love. It's like this person who's conservative, nervous Nancy, and bold Bob. Bold Bob still doesn't have all the answers, but he's serious as a heart attack about taking control of his future. And yes, he might have some questions that need to be answered, absolutely, but he knows where he's going. That's the sort of person we're after today, is that bold Bob. We don't need the nervous Nancy or negative Nancy who's always going to stay stuck in her circumstances. She's always going to play the victim card, and it's always going to be everybody else's fault why she can't get ahead. That's not who we're looking for. Who we're looking for is this person, this person, this person. There are a couple of things to think about with structuring your webinar. The structure, the intro, the hook, the cadence, the secrets, the trial closes, and the testimonies as well, with a special offer, scarcity, urgency, call to action right here, right now, and then some stories. This is who this is for. This is who this is not for. And then the reduction to the ridiculous pricing as well. I had an accountant of mine who charges me $1,000 a month, right, as my accountant. But he says, listen, the benefit is you shouldn't pay tax. If you're paying tax, I'm not doing my job properly, right? So reduction to the ridiculous. I'm either going to pay, $100,000 in tax or pay him $12,000 a year and not pay tax. It's pretty much a no-brainer. Same sort of thing in your webinar. You want to be able to do that. Make the reduction to the ridiculous, have the offer in there, and then have Q&A, right? And just spend as long as time as you want to on Q&A, and congratulate people as they're taking action. You're seeing sales rolling in. Create that social proof and that herd mentality. People are buying. I don't want to miss out. Hey, there's only 2 more spots left to take advantage of that first 10 offer. Hey, there's 5 more spots left to be one of the first 20 that come through. Congratulations. I got another question here from an audience member. So all of that sort of stuff is going to really culminate in an effective, high converting webinar for you. I hope you found this whirlwind 10-minute podcast of super value to you, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Please remember to drop me a comment on webinars in the comment section here, and I will personally jump in and weigh in and reply to every single question here that you have about a webinar and whether it's right for your business or not. Happy marketing. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to Results-Based Marketing. If today's episode gave you valuable insights into maximizing your marketing efforts, we'd love your support. Please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on socials at Simeon Cryer. All the links for me are in the show notes below. And happy marketing. Thank you so much for your attention.